All right, Mark here again, cooking books, bringing info. So I want to talk to you guys really quick. Just want to have like a real practical discussion, very brief. I was talking to a young lady about a month ago, right? Platonic, nothing, not an intimate or personal relationship, just a casual friend. Uh, and she was telling me about her dating experiences out there, and you know, obviously she was telling me that she's reading a Steve Harvey book, and amongst other books on dating and relationships. And she said to me something that I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with: the whole 6 month rule, or something, a 90-day trial period, whatever. This period where she doesn't give up women don't give up the cookies to men, and their version, the cookies obviously means sexual intercourse, right? No copulating during 6 months, 90 days, 180 days, or 90 days, depending on whatever she chooses. And I thought that was interesting, right? Because and a lot of us, we probably heard this before. It's something that's been floating around. Like, if women don't sleep with a man in 3 months or 6 months or whatever the time frame is, it's the probationary period. Companies have policies where you're not tenured or you're not given certain benefits till after 90 days or till after 180 days. So they're taking a corporate policies and incorporating that into personal relationships. Uh, okay, fine. I have no problem with that. I genuinely have no problem with that. But here's what I want to tell fellas, my brothers out there. Here's what I want to say to you. And a lot of women are going to be pissed. They're not going to like this. They're not going to like this because this is an excellent counter. This is a great rebuttal. This is a great offset, or a great cancellation, or great neutralizer. That's a better word. I like that. This neutralizes everything. What I'm about to say next. So I'm building the suspense intentionally. I know you're like, well, what is it? Come on, let's go. No, let's slowly ease into this, because this, I believe, is manna from on high. I believe the heavens opened up and poured out this manna, this heavenly celestial gem, this nutrient, this cosmetic, the cosmos opened up and poured out this wonderful elixir into my mind, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It better be good now, right? Because I better not be anticlimactic. Because right now everybody's like, all right, what is it? Let's go. Come on, you got us waiting. We're all on edge. And what I'm about to say next, if it's anticlimactic, you guys are going to boo me. Probably never want to look at my channel again. But I think it's worth its weight in gold. Now, before I say, let me say this. So a woman say we shouldn't give up our cookies to men. Here's a time frame. And the reason, let's talk about the reason, right? Because she told me the reasons too, obviously. And the obvious reasons are, if a woman sleeps with you right away, she feels like, okay, her value has just been, decreased, right? Substantially, reduced substantially. Or you might not call her back the next day, or you might not call her, or you might not ever want to date her again, or they're just afraid that if they give you their cookies, that you're not gonna be around anymore. You take the cookies like the Cookie Monster, you eat up the cookies, you wash it down with some milk, and you're off. So that's their fear. Their fear is that you will lose respect for them. And it's a justifiable fear, might I add. I have a daughter, so I respect that premise. I respect their argument. I respect their sentiments. By all means, I have a daughter. So let me just say, that puts me in a mindset where I can understand. I don't want my daughter being treated any which way as a result of, the cookies being by the Cookie Monster, right? The Cookie Monster comes around, eat the cookies, he's gone. So I get the sentiment, I get the idea, I get the concept, I get the motivation behind the concept. So in no way do I trample upon this 90-day or 180-day rule. I to some extent, I agree. I'm not mad at you. I will co-sign, I will stamp, sign, and approve that. I might lose some of my fellas' support, but I'm not, you know what I mean? Because first of all, I'm not thirsty. You know what I mean? I'm not thirsty like that. I got a lot of self-control. I'm well disciplined. So You want me to wait 180 days? I'll do that standing on my head. You want me to do 90? I'll do that. If you're worth it, if you're worth it. So I don't care about that. Plus, I'm a guy that I love to study more than anything in the world. Like that, my books is my bestest friend in the whole wide world. My books don't argue with me. They don't, they don't mistreat me. They're not trying to get nothing out of me, and they're loyal. They're consistent. They're always there. My books are always going to be there. You can come and go, but my books will be here forever. So if you want to act up, bye. I have my books. You know what I mean? So that's my thing, though. That's what works for me. Everyone's different. So I could stamp, sign, and approve and seal that whatever 6 months, 90-day, whatever rule. But here's what I want to say to us, though, fellas. What I've been holding out on saying right now. What is our version of their cookies? We know what their cookies are. What is the male version of a female cookie? That's something we got to think about. What is the equivalent? What is the male equivalence of a female's cookies? I've asked a couple of guys this, and I've got several different answers, and all the answers I got, it wasn't a right or wrong, first of all. There's not a right or wrong. But all the answers that I got were not satisfactory, according to me, in my opinion. I don't think the answers I received were adequate answers. They were good answers, but not adequate. And some of the answers I've heard some men say money. For our finances is the equivalence of their cookie. I can give that a high ratio. I can give that a high percentage. Scale of 1 to 10, I could say that's 60-70% true. But it's not I want the 100%. That's not the 100%. And most men would probably say money. Before the manna from on high came down to me, before the heavens opened up and revealed this to me, I would have co-signed that, yeah, it's our finances, because that's like the most important thing to us as men. We're providers, right? We go out, we work, we hunt, and we kill, we do what we have to do, we eat what we kill. So that is very, very important to us. Our finances are and that's what we're sadly, well, not sadly, but it is a criteria that we're judged by. When a woman meets you and you're looking for a mate, in evolution, there's 3 things that a mate looks for, a female looks for when she's choosing her mate in evolution. It's protection, provision, and reproduction. Your ability to reproduce, so you got to have high sperm count. Protection, you must be able to guard and protect her. And provision, which is you got to go out and hunt and bring home something for her to eat. And this is evolution. This is primitive, very primitive, but the principles are everlasting. They're indefinite principles. You always got to provide, protect, and a woman's going to want to make sure you can reproduce, especially if she wants to have children. So that's evolution. So I can get the whole, so provision, being able to provide would be the finances, right? Amongst other things, but emotional support, mental, educational support, all of that is all in there, but finances plays a key component. So I get why some of my male counterparts would tell me our version of their cookies, our equivalence to their cookies is our finances. And like I said, yes, but not 100% true. So let's put that to the side. It's not a right or wrong, but I don't think that's it. Someone else told me our sexual organs, right? Just politically correct. Our sexual organs is equivalence of their cookies. Now, match for match, that's 100% true. Their cookies, we know what that is. Their sexual organs, and if we want to match for match, then it would be our sexual organs, right? It would be our, then that would be true. But I again, manna from on high. That's not the answer. You can make that argument, but that's not it. That's not it, fellas. That's not it. And when I say that's not it, you got to remember, you got to think about this thing on a macro scale, not a micro. Think on a macro scale. Think on a fifth dimensional. Think about their reasons for not wanting you to sleep with them or not wanting to give it up too quick. It's their fear. There's an innate, valid too. I'll agree. It's a valid fear, justifiable fear that, if I sleep with this guy so quickly, he's gone. Then I'm left to deal with the depression, the hurt, the pain, the lack of self-worth, all that comes with that. I'm left to deal with. Or worse, if he gets me pregnant and he's gone, then I'm left to raise a child by myself. I mean, there's so many dangers that come, emotional dangers, psychological dangers. There's so much that comes with it. So I get that. So we got to think about it from that perspective, right? So it's not finances for us. It's not our sexual organs matching theirs for us. Here's what it is, fellas. Here's what our male version of the female cookies is. This is the honest truth right here. And again, it's speculative again. I didn't read this in a book. I didn't find like some secret scroll that told me this. There's not some mystery, some occult, some, it's this enigmatic revelation that I got. No, here's what I believe it is, fellas. You ready? Our male version of a female's cookies is our commitment. It felt so good to just say it. Our commitment, fellas. Fellas, our commitment is their vagina. Our commitment, we committing ourselves to a woman, is the equivalence of their cookies. And let me give you let me put some meat on that. Let's add some vegetation, some vegetables. Let's put some things in place to support a support system. Let's give some context. Fellas, as a man, from experience, when I'm not committed to a woman, I am chased. I am hunted like a prey-predator relationship. I've been hunted. You understand? When I'm not committed. From experience, you learn from experience. When I have not given commitment, I've been adored. I've been lusted after. I am held in high esteem. I am praised. I am lifted up, given accolades on accolades. And then after a commitment, I am depreciated, devalued. I am like a car that has been driven off the lot. All of a sudden, when they didn't have the keys and the title and the deed to that car, it was the smell, the fresh smell of that car smells so great. And the minute they are able to drive it off the lot, right away the value begins to depreciate. That's economics. You buy a house, the value goes up. You buy a car, the value goes down. The minute it comes off the lot, it starts to depreciate. It has been something I've experienced a lot. It's not embarrassing, right? It's educational. It's life. It's learning. I've learned that it's not your finances. It's not your male organs, the equivalent of theirs. It's your commitment, fellas. Once you commit, once you give your commitment, it is the equivalent of her giving you her cookies. Both fears are equally matched. Let me explain. I told you what her fears are. Your fear, my fear. We might not say it as men because there's a bravado, there's a macho, there's a testosterone element that makes a lot of us keep it in or suppress it. But I'm going to say it. A lot of us have that same fear. Once we commit, will she call me in the morning? I'm being facetious here. I'm using their fear, but you see my point. I hope you can see my point. Will she still chase? Will she still value me? Will she still respect me? We won't say it as men because we got this macho thing, but my psyche is a little bit, my consciousness is a little bigger than that. So I'll say it. A lot of us have that fear that once we commit, for us, the respect that she once had, that we once felt from her, is going to depreciate. The adulation, the admiration is going to depreciate. The chase, the access that I once had to her begins to depreciate. And fellas, case in point, before commitment, anything you wanted was yours. After commitment, now you have to fight to get it. Now you have to constantly keep fighting to get things that you were getting before commitment. Now it's a constant struggle. Everything's a struggle now. But wait a minute, before commitment, it wasn't, I didn't struggle so much. After commitment, I got to struggle for everything. I got to struggle to get you to make me a plate of food. I got to argue with you to cook something, to do that, whatever the case may be. Fellas, once you commit, You have given a woman the male version of their cookies. Commitment is the equivalent of their cookies. They're taught to keep their cookies and use that. Understand the power of that. And we need to teach our sons, our boys, our young men that our commitment that we give to them is, if not the same, just as equal or more than their cookies. Your commitment is tantamount to their cookies. But here's why too. Here's more reasons. The word commit means to pledge. You're pledging something. You're committing. You're pledging. You're making an oath. You're taking a solemn swear to do something. A promise. A pledge. You're committing yourself to something. Right? Again, you're swearing to get something done, to do something. You're making an oath. You're taking an oath to something. That's commitment. Or commit. That's the word, to commit. Or it means to do something, commit a crime, right? But it means to take an oath. In this context, you're swearing to do something, to stand by something, to be with something. You commit. The word ment in Latin is mens. Mens in Latin means mind. From there you get mens rea, which means intent. Ment again in Latin is mens. Mens means mind. So ment means mind. If you trace it to its etymological roots, it really means mind. Anytime you see the word ment, M-E-N-T, if you resequence, rearrange, reorder, and reverse, you'll find out that its origin is in Latin for mens, which means mind. So the root meaning of ment is mind, your mind. Commit, mind. Commit, mind. You are giving a woman your mind when you commit to her. You're giving her your mind, not your physical body, not your finances, okay, not your sexual. You're giving her your mind. Based off the very root meaning of the word commit, dismember the word. Sometimes to find out hidden meanings or true meanings of a word, you have to dismember, reverse engineer the word and get to its etymological meanings, its etymological roots, right? So you find the root meaning of the word, and then you know what you're actually saying without saying it. You're not telling her, look, I'm giving you my mind. But by definition, by the etymological meaning of the word commitment, what you are doing is committing, pledging, swearing your mind to another human being. You're saying to this woman, I'm giving you my mind. Fellas, her cookies cannot compare to your mind. Get this and get this well. The cookies that Steve Harvey and all these guys are talking about in their books, telling women don't give men their cookies. A cookie cannot hold a candle compared to your mind. I just felt to curse a while ago. I said curse word a while ago, but I'm not. Like my passion just got really, I almost curse right now, right? But I'm not. But I want to express the passion. The cookies that these women are talking about withholding it pales in comparison to what we are giving them. Fellas, when your commitment to a woman, you're giving her your mind based off the etymological definition and or meaning of the very word commitment. Pledge the mind. Let's break it down. Commit, I just told you, it means to pledge, to make to take an oath. You are pledging, you are swearing to this woman, you can have my mind. Ment means mind. Commit means to swear or to pledge. I am pledging to you my mind. Your cookies are nowhere worthy of my mind. Fellas, do not. They say they want us to take 180 days, 90 days before they give us the cookies. How long you want them to be in their probationary testing proving grounds before you give them your mind? That's something to think about. Peace.